Roaring back to life after being silenced by the pandemic. From today, Godzilla vs. Kong is on the screens of selected Regal Cinemas in the United States. It comes as Regal's parent, Cineworld, agrees a deal with CNN's parent, Warner Media, to release movies in theatres ahead of streaming on demand. Cineworld employs around 30,000 people. It has over 9,000 screens in around 780 locations around the world. Mooky Greidinger is the CEO of Cineworld Group, and he joins us now. Mooky, fantastic to have you on the show. I said roaring back to life there. This is a huge moment. What kind of recovery are you anticipating?
I think it will take a bit of a time, but we see the reaction from our customers is amazing. You know, people are keep on going on the website, calling, trying to find more details. We will have all our cinemas opened in the US by beginning of May, and we are even accelerating now because of the demand. At the opening, I guess Godzilla vs. Kong will have a great weekend this weekend. This is what we hear already from preliminary results, and we are really very, very excited.
It, as you mentioned, will be a slow start, but particularly in the United States, we are seeing vaccines being delivered incredibly quickly. What kind of recovery, if we judge by the end of this year, do you think you can have in terms of percentage of people returning and coming back to the cinemas relative to the numbers you had? Let's use 2019 as the benchmark.
Yeah. I would say when I say slow opening, I mean that we are not opening all the cinemas on one day. But I think that what we see from the reaction within a month, maybe 6 weeks, we will see already very good results. If you look overseas and look at China and Japan, cinemas are breaking records there. And so it really took less than expected. I know a lot of people were talking about the future of the cinema industry. People want to go and see movies in the cinemas. So we are really confident that in the summer already we will be up and running almost full scale. When are we going to reach 2019 numbers? It's to say, but it's going to be very sooner rather than later.
You just mentioned what we saw in China and Japan, and clearly we've seen huge enthusiasm in China. Do you think they're comparable in that the message is that actually people do love going to the cinema? They may have the option to stream at home and watch movies at home, but they love to go to the cinema, and actually they'll continue to do that going forward.
I think that the people that like cinema, without insulting anyone, the people that like the most cinemas in the world are Americans. And in the US, it's still the strongest market, and the tradition of going to the cinema is so strong. And we see how much people miss the cinemas, and they will be coming back. And with the huge success now of the vaccination, it is safe to go to the cinema. We are still keeping our safety protocol intact, and we are taking care of every visitor in the cinema. And I'm sure that we will see great numbers coming from the biggest market, which is still the US.
There's a critical relationship between the movie studios and the cinemas. You need the movie studios to create great movies. They need you to present them to some degree, but the balance has shifted throughout the pandemic, at least. I mentioned in the introduction that you'd signed a multi-year deal with Warner Media to have this 45-day window to exclusively present the movies in the cinema, and then they'll be available on streaming. Could that adjust, or does that 45-day window hold continuously?
I guess that 45 days is a good number. And whether it is 42 or 48, it doesn't matter so much. I agree with you that the balance was disrupted, and it is very difficult to keep a balance when all your cinemas are closed, because we were delivering $0. But right now, when we're coming back, I think there is no argument. And all the studios, one like this and one in the other way, agrees that platforming the movies as a locomotive for the circle of life of a movie, the best way is get some theatrical exclusivity and then go to the other markets. And I'm sure that we will see a shorter window maybe that we had before, but we are going to see a significant window that will protect the cinemas on one hand, and will really allow the customers to see first the cinemas on the big screen in the way they like it. And after that, they will have all the other opportunities to see them.
I mean, 45 days would have been unimaginable as a short space of time 2 to 3 years ago. Do you think that could become the industry standard? Clearly Disney, another big player, Universal, that you have to negotiate with here too? Or do you think 45 is the max? It could actually shrink?
Yeah, look, it depends a lot where it is going, because if it's going to streaming is one thing. If it goes to premium VOD, where people need to pay $20 or $30 in order to see the movie at home, is a different thing altogether. So there are many opportunities, many adjustments. There are a lot of negotiations to be done around it. But I think that the one thing will not be changed. I think that the interest of a window and the interest in a theatrical exclusivity is not only ours, it's also the interest of the studios, and they will do more money, and they know this, that they will do more money. Currently in the pandemic, everybody is trying. There are all kinds of experiments, there are all kinds of movements that are being done. I guess that the 45-day is a good number. Whether it will be a bit shorter or a bit longer, it depends also a lot on the movie. There are many movies that are holding for 10 weeks or even more. And there are many movies that are really producing some income in the cinemas for 2 weeks, and then they are already done. So it's every movie is specific, but the interest is combined, and the studios and the cinemas have the same interest in the way to maximize at least the income from the theatrical window. And yes. I would add another thing, it's watching a movie at home. You can watch a movie at home on many, many things. You can watch it on your TV, you can watch it on your iPad, you can watch it on your phone. Going to see a movie in the cinema is not only just going out, it's also a kind of a social event. There is nothing to compare the experience when you see a movie surrounded by 200, 300, maybe more people around you. All are laughing, all are crying, all are happy, all are frightened, than to see the movie at home. So this huge difference, and the fact that people want to go out, and especially after the pandemic, makes me sure that we are going on the right way, and the cinema business will be back on its feet in a big way.
I'm sold. Bring us back to life, quite frankly. Mooky, great to have you on. Thank you so much for your perspective.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The CEO of Cineworld there. Thank you. After the break, a CNN exclusive, we'll show you how a vaccine is made. I'll look at the new BioNTech facility, and the scale of it might surprise you. Stay with us.